Do you automatically dislike billionaires? Why?
The only good billionaire is someone who redistributes their wealth to the point they never become one. Dolly Parton is a good example.
For some, redistributing wealth would just make it worth less. The Arizona tea guy is worth $6.5 billion because he bought the entire supply chain required to keep it at 99 cents. If he redistributed it, he wouldn't be able to keep it at 99 cents and it would be a worse product. The only good billionaire is a former billionaire. I disagree either way with this. The only good billionaires are the ones who get their billions via divorce and then do everything they can to give it away and support charities, i.e. Mackenzie Scott. It can be very difficult to give away that amount of wealth simply because no single charity has use for that money, and it wouldn't be efficiently used, but she has donated like $26 billion since the divorce. Ideally, you never accrue that much, but if you divorce someone who did and then use your half for good, I'll give you a pass. Yes, having that amount of money will never be ethical, no matter how you obtained it. Obviously, some billionaires are worse than others, but as a class, they are a net negative on the world. Wealth accumulation on that scale is obscene.
If you have more money than God and you decide against using it to improve the world, worse, you decide to use it to make the world worse, then you're actually legitimately evil.
Hence the statement, there are no ethical billionaires. It's not just saying that you can't become one ethically, it's saying that regardless of how you became one, remaining one requires that you are hoarding resources that should be better spent to improve the world. The exact line where this cuts off isn't clear-cut, but it's pretty clear that billionaires are well past any reasonable point you could draw that line. If you have that much money and do nothing, your existence is making the world worse. Yes, there is no such thing as an ethical billionaire. Edit. Lots of bootlickers crawling out of the woodwork to defend the aristocrats. You can take your simpering somewhere else. I'm not interested. I never used to, but I think that class of people have revealed their true colors in recent years. I'm starting to believe you can't be both a billionaire and a good person. Nobody needs to be a billionaire. If they were nice people, they would donate money until they were at least in the hundreds of millions. But they aren't, so they don't. Although you could argue they wouldn't be billionaires in the first place if they were good people. Edit. Thanks for the hundreds of comments telling me what wealth is. I think I need a few more of you to tell me before I give a shit. Edit part 2. I stand corrected. Long live the billionaires. There's no belief to it. There is no way for an individual to accrue that much money without majorly fucking people over. It's extremely difficult to get to that level of wealth by following the rules. They are completely comfortable with exploiting other people and rely heavily on government handouts. And it's turning out that there is a higher than average correlation of pedophilia amongst billionaires. Wages have been dramatically stagnating ever since human resources could just Google average salaries and adjust for their local cost of living. That, plus the enshittification of the quality of products through cheaper materials and programmed obsolescence, are wholly unacceptable. Millions can be made from hard work. Billions are made on the backs of others. Number 1. I dislike those who forcibly interject themselves into the public eye without serving any real purpose or doing anything to better the lives of people. With that amount of wealth, yes, I feel that they do have an obligation to give back to society in some way, shape, or form. Even with my modest funds, I give back when and where I can. And that's with so many stores and businesses having prompts to give back to certain charities at the point of sale. Why shouldn't the same be expected of them? Number 1, the people I like or dislike have nothing to do with whether or not they have a bunch of money. There's plenty of poor people who are assholes too. You generally don't earn your way to $1 billion, you abuse your way there. It's immoral to hoard wealth when people are starving. You won capitalism, hooray, you're awesome. Now fix something instead of salting the earth behind you. I think this is my main problem with it. A moral person could not be that wealthy. They would be donating it. Once a normal person has accumulated so much that they don't even know what to do with it, why the hell wouldn't you look for ways to give it away?
The bigger problem is not that people are starving on their own. These billionaires sometimes create such situations to get some monetary gains. This boils my blood.
I think what's missing from this take, which I completely agree with, is how they accumulate that wealth. You don't make $1 billion without large-scale exploitation. Their wealth was not created. It was extracted and squeezed out of people via cheap labor, through the destruction of natural resources, or through business practices, both illegal and legal, thanks to a capitalist system that rewards greed. If you're willing to do what it takes to become a billionaire, I wouldn't expect you to share any of your wealth because you're a sick individual to begin with. So in case anyone was wondering, yes, I automatically dislike billionaires.
Didn't used to, but now I do, especially Musk, Bezos, Zuckerberg, Ellison, the ones that don't share their wealth.
It's worse than not sharing. I could live with them sitting on their piles of gold like Smaug, but they're using their money to actively make everyone else more miserable. They're manufacturing propaganda, ending democracy, buying islands to escape to after they've burned down everything else. They're monsters.
No, just realistic. Becoming a billionaire means you exploited someone.
If you make enough money to be a billionaire, what do you do with all that money? Dolly Parton is my favorite billionaire because she donates enough of her money to no longer be a billionaire. That's just it. If you are a good billionaire, you give away so much you lose the status. Thus, there are no good billionaires. Dolly said, "No assholes here, I'm good," and donated herself out of billionaire status, while everyone else is building rockets to nowhere. Main character energy. It's actually incredibly difficult to give away your money fast enough to lose the status because of how much money you make every day. You couldn't even realistically spend it in any kind of meaningful way. Mackenzie Scott, the billionaire ex-wife of Jeff Bezos, has an entire team of people dedicated to helping her donate her massive wealth, and it's a full-time job for everyone. Because I automatically dislike people that take 99% of the pizza at the pizza party for themselves. In the words of Forrest Gump, Mama said there's only so much fortune a man really needs, and the rest is just for showing off. You don't need billions of dollars, and absolutely no one works hard enough to deserve that much money relative to the average person. In fact, you can earn the average US income on pure interest with just $3 million. You don't need to work a day in your life if you have just 0.3% of $1 billion. Lastly, if you have that much money, you can pay others to change the rules in your favor, lobbying and so on. Wealth isn't the problem, but greed is. And if you think you need more after you have millions, you are very greedy. That makes you a problem for the rest of society because you have much more power to take from those who don't have as much. My dad worked his butt off his whole life and never saw a fraction of that billionaire cash. Forrest Gump nailed it. Greed hoards while the rest scrape by. Spot on about lobbying, too. I do. There are too many studies that show how extreme wealth changes a person neurologically to think they have the capacity to be normal people. I also question what kind of person needs to hoard wealth like that, knowing that they could affect so much positive change and still be very comfortable. There are no good billionaires. Dislike is too generous. I believe they shouldn't exist, nor should the means by which they were able to extort humans to get that money. There is no ethical way to become that rich. Because they're not contributing equitably to the systems that made them rich. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It really helps. Subscribe for more and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one.